Hi. Come on through. Lovely to see you today. My name is Dr. Lottie and I am going to be your ophthalmologist for today's session. Can I just confirm your name? Okay, so I've got written down here that you're just in for a general checkup, just for us to have a look at your eyes and their health, and just to see if there's any change whatsoever in your prescription. Is that right? Okay, lovely. So before we get started, I'm just going to take a few extra details from you for confirmation. So could you confirm your date of birth for me? Yeah, okay. And your address? And your contact number? Yeah. So from what I've got here, on my record, I can see that the last time we saw you, there was no significant problem there. In terms of since when we last saw you, have you had any problems with discomfort or pain in your eyes? No? Okay. And do you think your sight has got any worse or any better since we last saw you? No? Okay. That is good news. Obviously, sometimes things can change ever so slightly and aren't as obvious, which is why today it's going to give us a definitive answer as to whether anything has changed with your prescription or your health of your eyes. So even though, like you said, you haven't noticed any difference, we'll just be able to rule out any possibilities there. Okay, so now that I have got everything we need, I think we're ready to get started. So for hygiene measures, let me just pop on my gloves. Obviously I don't want to be transmitting any germs across to you, and likewise none from you to me. So I'll just pop on my gloves. So now that I have my gloves on and that you're sitting comfortably, I'm just going to come up a little bit closer and just have a little look at your eyes, okay? So just try and relax, keep nice and still for me, and I'm literally just going to have a very brief look. So from a distance they look perfectly fine. Obviously we're going to do some more thorough checks just to confirm that. Okay. Now it might help if I actually put my own glasses on, just so I can see everything. Now before we get started, I'm just going to clean your eyes. Okay. Literally just going to take one of these and apply apply some eye wash. And all this is going to do is it's just going to sanitize the area. And as you can see, it's just a solution that I'm going to apply to your eyes using this cotton pad. Okay, so don't worry, it's not going to sting, it's very gentle, and like I said, it's just going to sanitize the area before we get started. So just relax for me, and if you wouldn't mind closing those eyes for me. Perfect. Okay, so now that we have cleaned your eyes, I'm going to start off the examination with my torch here. And first of all, I'm just going to check the physical health of your eyes, just to make sure that your eyes are hydrated, the vessels are looking nice and healthy, and then I'm going to observe your pupil dilation and your reflexes. So it's just going to be a very quick examination where I can determine the physical health and the responsiveness, if you like, of your eyes. Okay, so let's have a quick look. I just want you to look straight ahead for me to start off with. Don't mind me, I'm very gently just going to touch the top of your eyebrow just to have a closer look in. Okay, and if you'd like to look up for me. And look down. Good. And if you look to the left for me. And to the right. So in terms of your physical health in there, everything is looking wonderful. It's looking how it should do, how I would hope for it to look, which of course is fabulous news. So bear with me while I just jot down that result. Okay. So we are going to go back with the torch. This time I'm going to be keeping a close eye on your pupil dilation and the response of your eye to the changing light. Okay, obviously this is really important because not only does it show the functioning of the eye, but it signals to us that everything is working as it should do in your brain as well, which is obviously very, very crucial. So, with that being said, if you again would just like to look straight ahead for me. Good, okay. So try not to blink for me. Okay. And again, I'm just very gently going to place my finger above your eye. Good, okay, and let's go over to the other eye. That's it, just keep looking straight ahead for me. Good, okay. Good, you're doing really well. Just try and relax. Just taking my time just to make sure that I can really thoroughly check that everything is looking healthy. Okay, perfect. So again, everything there is looking as it should, which of course is great. Again, let me just mark down that result. Okay, right. Okay, so we're next going to move on to observing how well your eyes can focus on moving objects. Okay, so all I'm going to do is, with my pen, all I'm going to be doing is moving my pen around in your field of vision, and all I'd like you to do is just focus on the pen for me. Okay, try really hard to look at the pen and only the pen, and that's just going to give me a good indication of how well you can focus on objects around you. Good. I'm just going to come a little bit closer. Fantastic, you're doing really well. Good. and just keep focusing on my pen. Okay, and I'm now going to move it into the field of vision. Good. And again. And once more. Brilliant. So again, you've done really, really well there. Everything, again, is looking how it should do, which is very promising. Just take note of that quickly. Okay. Right, so similar objective behind the next assessment. I'm just going to be fluttering either my left fingers or my right. I just need you to tell me which ones are moving. Okay? Great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Perfect. All of those were correct, which of course is a good sign. So although that's quite a simple test, it's quite often a good indication as to when people's sight is beginning to deteriorate slightly. So that's good news. Now we're going to do another simple test, but again it is effective, and all I want you to do is tell me how many fingers I'm holding up in total. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So, as expected, you got all of those right as well. Normally, when people are unable to distinguish between my left fingers and my right fingers fluttering, then they tend to trip up on that assessment as well. So I was predicting that result anyway, but it's always best to double check these things. Okay, so we are now going to move on to the final section of the assessment today, and this is just going to involve reading from the chart over here, and we're going to also test your colour perception, because although it's not part of your sight test, it's always useful to know whether you're looking at colours and being able to detect them correctly. And obviously if you're not, then we'll be able to offer you some aid with that. Okay, so before we proceed, I'm just going to take these gloves off, as I won't be coming up to your eye again. Fingers tend to get quite warm in those gloves, so it's always a relief taking those off. Now, like I said, I would like you to read for me the letters on the chart. Okay, so if you wouldn't mind just having a little look to the chart over there, and I do realise that it is far away, but the objective is to really challenge you and stretch you, see how well you can read from a distance. Okay, so let me just get my notes. Okay, so when you're ready, if you wouldn't mind just reading from the chart, take your time, and obviously when you get to a stage where you can no longer read from the chart, just let me know and we will stop. Okay, so if you wouldn't mind reading for me the top line. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. And if you would go now to the second line. Yeah. Okay. That's alright, just take your time. I know that it's quite a tricky one. Yeah. Good. Okay. So that's good so far. Do you think you could manage the third line? Yeah? Okay, have a go. Good. Yeah. Okay, do you think you could go any further? Okay, just try that next line then for me. Yeah. Okay, good. You're doing really well. Fantastic. Okay, now the next line is usually where people find that they can go no further, so just have a go for me. Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. You managed to read quite far down there, which is great. And from my records, your prescription hasn't changed, okay, which is good. Obviously, it means that you haven't improved anywhere, but normally we'd expect it to deteriorate, which it hasn't, which is great. So, finally, we're now just going to do the colour test. Like I said, this one is not crucial. if you do really badly in it, then it just means you've got colour blindness, which is one of those things that isn't going to affect your life so much. But let me just get my colour cards and we shall start. So, can you tell me what this first colour is? Purple? Brilliant. And the next colour? Blue. Fantastic. And what about this colour? Yes, yellow. And this colour here? Brown. Brilliant. And what about this colour? Red. Yes. And this one. Yes, that was orange. Okay, now let's just move on to the final four colours that I've got here. Which one is this? Pink. Brilliant. And this one? White. Yes. Fantastic. And what about this one? Yes, that was black. And the final colour now. Yes, this one is grey. So again, you've done really well there. So let me just jot that result down. Amazing. So you have done fantastically well in your eye test today. There was nothing that you really showed any sort of deficiency in at all, which is amazing. Obviously we'll keep hold of these results and we'll check up with you again in another 6 months. Is that okay? Yeah? Okay, well, thank you very much for coming in. It's been lovely to have you here and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Okay, no problem. And obviously if you have any other issues in the meantime, then please do not hesitate to get in touch. Alright.